So we normally talk about flagship smartphone cameras, the iPhone 13, Samsung Note series, Pixels, but camera smartphones under 50k are also really good. You get Vivo X70 Pro with Zeiss branding, OnePlus 9 with Hasselblad, and yes, iPhone 12. And I'm serious about the company branding. Like, I really want to see if they do anything. And here's a photo for you to guess. A, B, C. Go ahead, comment, guess the smartphone, and I'll tell you the result while we go through the camera comparison. This is actually the story of the entire video. Prateek, you're already watching TechVisor. I'm a bit feverish, sorry about the audio, but I'm really excited, and if you are subscribed to Stay Wiser, let's go. So I'm not a huge believer in megapixels, and even you guys know megapixels aren't everything. But just here for the spec hungry, the Vivo has the highest 50 megapixel f1.75 sensor that has a 5-axis gimbal. And it is the bigger sensor than iPhone 12, but it would be interesting to see how it performs low light or night mode. You also get a wide angle sensor on all the three phones. OnePlus 9 offers a 50 megapixel wide angle sensor. Interestingly, Vivo X70 Pro Plus offers a 12 megapixel 2x telephoto lens, also an 8 megapixel 5x periscope sensor. Now, let's get to the images already. So first up, we did this really good plating, and if you see, straight up the OnePlus 9 has the most less detail. iPhone has lots of details. Surprisingly, Vivo was more color accurate and true to the scene. The iPhone tried to boost the shadows and it's overall bright, but points to both Vivo and iPhone. And OnePlus, in my opinion, was the most unpredictable in this list. Like here, both iPhone and Vivo are a bit boosted. iPhone has this warm tone, and OnePlus 9 is the most accurate of all of them. Like, look at the blue color. It is this way in the real scene, in real life. So I would give it to OnePlus. And again, this scene, the OnePlus 9 again has the most accurate red. The iPhone and Vivo kind of tend towards pink. Vivo is a bit more boosted, and surprisingly, in a blind test, people usually love saturated photos. And I'm starting to believe that the Hasselblad branding really has done some good things to the OnePlus 9 camera, but as soon as you bring humans into the scene, the OnePlus 9 starts making everything warmer. Like, look at Manu's face. iPhone has the proper representation, and then look at the red in the t-shirt. Again, iPhone has more accurate colors. And that's what I personally prefer in smartphone cameras. If you're boosting colors, do it with every scene. If you're muting colors, do it with every scene. Stay consistent. So yeah, iPhone and Vivo is pretty good over here. And it's not just outdoors. We set up proper studio lights, soft light, and OnePlus 9 is more towards pink now. Outdoors it was warm, but now it's cooler. Whereas the iPhone and Vivo are closer to the human skin tone. And here, the bigger sensor size shows, like if you zoom in closer, the Vivo one has far less noise, which I don't get in OnePlus 9. It has the biggest sensor, it has a really good aperture, but still the ISO is high and you have digital noise. On the other hand, Vivo utilizes the bigger sensor and you see far less noise. I can understand the noise in iPhone 12, it's a smaller sensor. So yeah, iPhone 12 and X70 Pro. Now coming to the ultra wide angle camera, here the story changes. The OnePlus 9 has the best ultra wide angle camera. It's the least distorted, and if you zoom in right towards Kaushal, others look like oil painting, but the OnePlus 9 still holds up. I also noticed one problem with the iPhone 12 ultra wide angle camera. It often misses HDR. Like here you see the sky is blown out. Here if you see the tube lights are blown out. And even if I put low light ultra wide angle videos, the OnePlus 9 just beats iPhone 12 and Vivo X70 Pro. The photos in night mode also kill. More light, more sharpness, better color, just overall better. Now for that, ultra wide angle goes to OnePlus 9. Funny thing, the main sensor of the Vivo X70 Pro is OnePlus 9's ultra wide angle camera. Like, it's a small world, my friend. Now the video is where I had high hopes on Vivo. 5-axis gimbal, a huge sensor. So first of all, I noticed that Vivo had far less lens flare. It was maximum on iPhone and it was the least on Vivo. So at least someone has the brand collaboration going right for them. And for stabilization, you know I would be nitpicking here. All of them seem pretty good to me. However, I could see a bit of flickering or exposure glitch on the iPhone 12. Can you see that? And here was the surprising thing for me. Like Vivo had really good stabilization, but if you look through the car window, it's all blown out. The iPhone 12 and OnePlus 9 did a better job, but that bigger sensor really kills in the low light video. With the iPhone 12 here, you have really grainy footage, whereas the OnePlus 9 again with a pinkish tint. The Vivo X70 was far better, less grainy. And good job here to Vivo for going good with the stabilization and really utilizing the bigger sensor. And here, the iPhone 12 has the smallest sensor compared to the other two, and in 4K 60, you can see Vivo has more light as well as far less grainy, and now the OnePlus 9 looks brighter but at the expense of lots of grain, not usable footage. I would give Vivo points for the low light videos and stabilization, iPhone 12 for overall consistent video quality. I really found the colors on the OnePlus 9 to be inconsistent. And I'm someone who likes selfie camera, especially videos. No, not because I look good, nah, but I don't have friends, I have to shoot myself, I make videos online, and it's okay. It's okay. So interestingly, the Vivo can only shoot 1080p 30 through the front camera. Both OnePlus and iPhone can go 4K 60 on the front as well. The difference in quality is just evident. In broad daylight, iPhone had better colors in selfies. I would say people would prefer the OnePlus or Vivo more because the face looks really well lit, but I would say iPhone is the more realistic and closer to my original skin tone. However, here's the surprising part. Vivo in low light selfie video just kills. Like, things are invisible on iPhone, barely visible on OnePlus 9, and it's really bright, a bit noisy on Vivo, but the lesser pixels are putting in a brighter video quality. So points to iPhone 12 for the daytime selfie and points to Vivo for the low light performance. So just quickly to explain it to you, there are three main ways to get light into the sensor. Number one, have a really big sensor or really big aperture like f1.4, but it is mostly fixed in smartphones. Then you have a really slow shutter speed like 1/20 or 1/10, but that also requires footage being shaken. Third, the easiest way is to increase the ISO. Take it at 1000, 1500, 20,000, but then that causes digital noise. And to break the suspense for you, well, the first image I show you, A was iPhone 12, B was OnePlus 9, C was Vivo X70 Pro, and we maintained the same order throughout the video. And OnePlus has really weird skin tones and unpredictable colors, which is a pattern for the entire video. And iPhone 12 is pretty strong on consistent colors. There were a few HDR misses. The wide angle camera isn't that great, but the colors are consistent. Whereas the Vivo X70 Pro has really good low light performance due to the gimbal, and selfie video is something I would personally prefer on the Vivo X70 Pro. Plus, Vivo also has night videos that scale down to 1080p, but it is a day and night difference. Really good macro camera as well, really good 2x telephoto lens. Like, if you take portrait photos, it's the best focal length and it is sharp AF. And Zeiss filter for portrait photos, but I kept all of these things aside to keep the comparison simple. Also, don't get me wrong, those are definitely not gimmicks and I could see people using them in real life. At least it's better to have than nothing. And I feel Vivo flagships or Vivo as a company is often not appreciated for the camera innovations they do. So to sum it up for you, iPhone has a really good main sensor with Apple's good HDR processing. Vivo has a really good selfie camera as well as the telephoto and main sensor. OnePlus 9 on the other hand has a really good ultra wide angle sensor, which in my opinion might appeal to some users. But yeah, to the question, I mean, if I had to pick a camera that works on every occasion and more importantly consistency is very important, my friend, I'll pick the iPhone 12 or Vivo X70 Pro. On that note, let us know how do you like these formats and videos. This is Pradeep signing off. I'll see you soon. Pew, pew, pew.